GM, it's Chris. Let's talk about fear because as a copywriter, we have a bunch of different psychological triggers, or rather understanding of humans in order to craft marketing strategies and craft compelling and conveying copy that converts, right? And I was thinking about fear just about now. Oh, by the way, I'm just doing a coffee here, so ignore this weird little plastic bottle here. Uh, but fear is in itself. I have realized that so many people are fearful of so many things. I've been that as well. It's just like a human natural feeling or instinct to be fearful, especially as an entrepreneur. And I was reflecting about a client that I have, which has been in the business space for a long time. And even coming up in age, they are still fearful of stuff. Fear of launching that product, fear of writing the emails, fear of looking stupid, right? There's so many different fears and complexity in a human being. Fear of being judged, fear of, raising prices, still pricing way too low, fear of rejection or being too salesy. People are fearful of AI coming into the space and becoming irrelevant, especially coaches, right? When AI can do stuff. And it's actually insane because I am dabbling with AI tools as well. Just how powerful AI is becoming and how rapidly it is evolving and just replacing tasks that humans really don't need to do anymore. That is why I'm leaning in so much into actual becoming more human and becoming more relatable. That's why I'm not cutting up these videos. That's why I'm not, you know, pausing at every sentence and going in with an editing tool and removing them. No, I want you to feel like this is a conversation between you and me, connecting with me on a human level, and actually just like having a conversation. But because I feel like a lot of like the human elements, people are obviously automating a lot of business stuff, but a lot of the humanity in everyone is also getting washed away. And there is such like an inverse proportion to this because as humans we want to trust, and we buy from people we trust, right? Also, we connect with another human being. So if you are just using AI throughout your entire process for everything, like AI slop, right? And that is going out on your landing page, on your copy, on your sales process, and just like AI, like people will just bounce and they will reject that. So becoming more human, becoming more relatable, and just, I think that is the path to go for the future. Now, fears. So people have a lot of fears about a lot of stuff. For example, people might be fearful of jumping on and creating YouTube videos, just like I am. Like, look at me. I have a channel of like 3 subscribers on this channel. I have another, but whatever, doesn't matter. But how can you overcome the fear of doing something in your business? Whether that's raising your prices or reaching out to people or jumping on camera and talking to people, how can you come over all of these fears that you have so that you can get the desire which you want, which probably is business growth, making money online, establishing yourself as an authority or a thought leader in your space? How can you overcome fear? And the fear which motivates and drives people, right? So the number one thing that I have found in order to play into fear without being unethical about it is to just really understand what fear is. And fear is pretty much how to put it. So fear is like a future expectation of an event that hasn't happened. So we have the past, we have the present, and we have the future. And honestly, the only thing that we have in our control right at this very moment is the present. And a lot of people are fearful of the future, of something that hasn't happened, which is not a reality. And although I don't disregard the future entirely, because you need to align yourself towards a North Star so that you have a mission, you have a goal, you have a vision, you have a purpose in life. But fear arises from you being so focused on the outcome or where this might take you. So, how can, for example, I just sit here and talk and create videos, and although I might look stupid, although I might not have the perfect language, or I don't speak fluently, or, it could have been a perfect take, or, whatever, I just roll with it because I am detached from the outcome. And that is how we overcome fear. Now, this video is not really supposed to be just about the fear, but how you can actually leverage and use it properly in an ethical way for your business and your copywriting. But at the end of the day, I believe that it's just understanding what fear is, and that is how you can understand people a bit more. Because let's say that someone wants to buy something from you, it might be a high ticket course or, one-on-one coaching. Naturally they will have objections, they will have questions regarding things. They are fearful of, if I do this thing, then what happens? So sales is essentially just reducing the fear and increasing the certainty. That's why there are stuff like guarantees or a money back guarantee, or reducing the friction, reducing the risk, and having a massive benefit outweighing the risk. So that's the value equation from Alex Ramosi. No, I'm not cutting that out. I don't care. But essentially, I will say fear and how to just get momentum in your life and actually start doing the stuff that you're supposed to do for your business, but you're actually not doing it, is pretty much realizing that one, it's fear holding you back, most likely, even if you don't want to admit it. Once you admit it, two, then understand that fear is just a fake expectation or realization of a happening in the future that has not happened or might not ever happen. So if you disregard that and just take action regardless of how the future turns out, if you're detached from the outcome and just focus on the process and the system, then that will help you to actually take action and do the things you're supposed to do in your business. But I taste my coffee, which I just created. I can just like leave it here, right? So realizing that fear is a human emotion, just like desire, just like benefits, just like you wanting to achieve something, is really important, both for writing copy, both for sales pages, but also how it ties back into your life. There are two quotes that I want to bring up right now in this moment from two mentors of mine. So the first one is, I think it was from Sam Ovens. He said that most businesses don't have business problems. They actually have human problems behind the business. And it's so true, because behind every business, there is essentially just a human being, which is the same as you, which is the same as me, just driving the business. Even if they are big up there with a CEO and they have millions of dollars in the bank, it does not matter. They're still a human being, right? And how that human being, how that person operates, dictates pretty much how the business operates. So perhaps if you are a new entrepreneur or someone who is trying to make it online, realize that probably you are the one thing or the one person who is not yet capable of getting what you want. So that is one. So it's not that you have business problems, it's that you have a person problem that is affecting the business. So that's one. And that is a thing that I've learned a lot as well. Number two is another thing, another from another mentor of mine, and he says that you need to happen to life. And that is pretty much the antithesis of fear. So if you have the balls and if you have the courage to happen to life and just seize it and grab it and feel the winds, feel the energy, feel the passion and the drive, and if you have a purpose, if you have a vision, then no matter what happens along the journey, no matter how much you fail, how fearful you are of looking stupid, or all of the other things that affect a human being, like burnout, being judged, or like, ooh, what's happening, or being just fearful overall. If you can understand that you are the man and you happen to life, then that brings back power to you so that you can actually do what you're supposed to do for your business, for yourself. So this became a little bit of a mishmash between business and life and like personal development because both are so interconnected. Because I see it in myself, I see it in my clients as well. Like they have been in the game for such a long time, but they're still fearful of stuff, fearful of being stupid, fearful of having an identity tied to them, fearful of raising prices, fearful of creating that offer and, act with confidence, act with speed, act now. And if you can fix the people behind the business, then the business by extension will run better, will grow, will scale. And once I understood this concept of fear and the future potential, which is not there, and being detached from the outcome is how I was able to essentially seize the opportunity of every day to get those clients, to do the outreach, to run my business, to create YouTube videos, even though no one is watching, or I get like one or two comments here and there, like, oh, blah 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 blah. Who cares, right? That's the fear holding people back. And if you just can transcend that, then that is will positively affect your life. It will positively affect your business. You will build leverage. You will get what you desire, get what you want. And also for your business, your sales process, if you can understand people on that level, then can you imagine what that will do for your business? How much more connection you will build with people? How much more revenue and income you will make when you understand there is another human being on the other side of the screen who is paying you for your product or your service. Essentially, future proofing yourself will and is about the human, is about the human behind the screen to the people you are selling to. And if you need help with this, then you can just work with me. I have a link below because I'm a copywriter and I do these things. I dive deeply into human psychology every single day. And that is pretty much how you grow both your business and yourself. So if you need help with anything or if you're looking for the next video, then stay tuned because I will drop one tomorrow. Stay tuned.